Why did the ancient and powerful Tuoshe ancient emperor choose Xiao Yan, someone who had only reached the 7-star Dusheng level, to inherit his legacy? Why not Gu Yuan, who was already at the peak of 9-star Daosheng, or Zhu Kun, who had loyally served him as a guardian for thousands of years? Was it pure luck? Was it favoritism? Or was there something far more significant behind that choice? The answer lies deep within the mysterious, strange fire square, where the statue of Tuoshe ancient emperor held the inheritance that countless top experts across the continent dreamed of obtaining. When the Tianfu alliance, led by Xiao Yan, entered this sacred domain, they were all filled with anticipation and uncertainty. They knew that the inheritance of a Dudi could change everything, and that whoever received it might become the final hope to stand against the Soul Clan and Emperor Hun Tian. Yet when they reached the statue, no one knew how to access its secrets. Amid their confusion, it was not a supreme powerhouse who solved the mystery, but the fire spirit Xiao Yi, quietly perched on Xiao Yan's shoulder. With hesitation in his voice, he suggested he might be able to open it. Encouraged, Xiao Yan unleashed a surge of pure lotus demon fire directly into the statue. To everyone's astonishment, the statue responded. Its chest slowly cracked open, revealing a glowing cave within. A powerful beam of light burst forth, blanketing the entire square. In an instant, the overwhelming pressure of the ancient Dudi's presence descended on everyone. And then something shocking happened. All the experts present, even mighty warriors like Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun, collapsed to their knees under the crushing force. Their faces turned pale. Their souls trembled. Despite being at the pinnacle of Dusheng power, they couldn't withstand the spiritual might of a long-gone Dodi. Zhu Kun cursed out loud in frustration, calling Tuoshe ancient emperor ruthless, while Gu Yuan merely gave a faint, knowing smile. After all, being forced to kneel by a Dodi was no disgrace. It was simply the natural hierarchy of power. But in the middle of this scene, one man stood tall. Xiao Yan alone remained unaffected. He stared around, confused. Why wasn't he feeling the same terrifying pressure as everyone else? Before he could find the answer, the light receded from the others and converged solely on him. That divine beam embraced Xiao Yan, singling him out among everyone present. The meaning was clear. Tuoshe ancient emperor had chosen Xiao Yan as his successor. This moment left everyone stunned. Zhu Kun, who had sacrificed thousands of years of his life protecting this place in the hope of receiving the inheritance, was filled with disbelief and resentment. Meanwhile, Gu Yuan, though disappointed, tried to console himself. Xiao Yan was, after all, his son-in-law. If the younger man could truly become a Dudi, then the Gu clan would still rise alongside him. But Xiao Yan, now enveloped in the ancient light, was beginning to understand the real reason he was chosen. He sensed something familiar inside that light, a wave of Du Qi that shared the same essence as his own. It was the unique energy produced by refining and absorbing different types of strange fire through the flame mantra technique. The realization dawned on him. Tuoshe ancient emperor must have used a similar cultivation method. This wasn't a coincidence. It was recognition. In the emperor's eyes, Xiao Yan wasn't a random successor. He was a spiritual descendant, someone from the same lineage of flame. That connection through strange fire was the key that opened the door. The surrounding experts could do nothing but offer congratulations, even if it pained them. There was envy, of course, but also relief. Because with this inheritance, Xiao Yan stood a real chance of reaching the Dao Di level. And he might be the only one who could stop the Soul Clan's terrifying ambition. The stakes were unimaginably high. If Emperor Hun Tian succeeded in refining the Emperor-grade young pill, the consequences would be catastrophic. The Soul Clan, known for their brutality, would launch an all-out massacre. The entire Duqi continent might fall into an abyss of blood and darkness. Knowing this, Xiao Yan made up his mind. To complete the inheritance and gain the strength he needed, he would enter the heavenly tomb, the only place where time moved far slower than in the outside world. Inside, he would be able to train longer, condense his power, and hopefully ascend to the Dodi level before Hun Tian could complete his pill. To safeguard the coalition in his absence, Xiao Yan handed Gu Yuan a jade slip with his soul imprint. If disaster struck, crushing the jade would immediately summon him back. With a heavy heart, he left the battlefield to pursue the final steps of his cultivation journey. For Gu Yuan, Zhu Kun, and the other elders, the time ahead would be filled with tension and danger. Their mission now was to hold off the Soul Clan long enough for Xiao Yan to return as a duty. Far away, deep in the Soul Realm, the situation was growing darker. Within a massive blood ritual formation, Soul Emperor Hun Tian was in the final stages of merging with the Emperor Grade Young Pill. Fueled by the blood and essence of millions from Zhongzhou, the formation was a horrifying sight, yet even this vast energy was still not enough. Hun Tian was determined. To achieve the level of Du Di, he was willing to do anything, even if it meant throwing the captured members of the Spirit, Stone, and Yao clans into the blood pool. And if that wasn't enough, he would sacrifice members of the Soul Clan itself. Void-swallowing Flame, his loyal companion and once equal, was shocked by this decision. He warned that many elders would resist such a ruthless act. Hun Tian's reply was cold. If there was opposition, it would be dealt with. The balance of power had shifted. Once, Void-swallowing Flame was seen as vital to the Soul Clan's survival. Now, he was just a tool. Hun Tian, intoxicated by the power of the Emperor Grade Young Pill, no longer saw anyone as irreplaceable. But what Hun Tian didn't realize was that Void-swallowing Flame had already sensed this betrayal. Hidden within the blood-soaked energy pool, a black flame had begun to stir. It was the embodiment of Void-swallowing Flame's suspicion, preparing for the moment when loyalty would no longer be enough. It was only a matter of time before the tension erupted, and the flames of rebellion began to burn from within. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan continued deeper into the heart of the inheritance. Entering the cave within Tuoshe Ancient Emperor's statue, he found himself surrounded by a sea of strange fire. These flames didn't attack him. Instead, they greeted him like long-lost companions. When he reached out and touched one of them, a purple flame, a wave of warmth filled his heart. It was the 3000 burning flame, one of the rare fires he had already refined. It recognized him, and the others did too. These flames, refined and nurtured by the ancient emperor himself, were responding to Xiao Yan with trust. They circled him like loyal followers. Then a voice echoed in his ears, calm, aged, filled with power. The voice said, "It seems that your body is very popular with strange fire." An old man appeared, wearing black robes, looking exactly like the figure carved into the statue outside. It was the phantom of Tuoshe Ancient Emperor, left behind to guide the one worthy of his inheritance. Seeing this, Xiao Yan respectfully bowed and introduced himself, ready to take on the final trial. The emperor had made his choice, and fate had aligned its path. Whether it would be enough to stop Emperor Hun Tian and save the continent, only time would tell. And so, the question is no longer why Tuoshe Ancient Emperor chose Xiao Yan, but rather, can Xiao Yan live up to the weight of that choice? With the fate of the Duqi continent hanging in the balance, with Soul Emperor Hun Tian pushing toward godlike power, and with betrayal brewing even within the Soul Clan, Xiao Yan's journey to Du Di is no longer just a personal pursuit. It's the last hope of resistance. The ancient flames have acknowledged him. The inheritance has accepted him. Now the world waits for the rise of the next emperor. Will he succeed, or will the continent fall into chaos? Only time and battle will decide. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Battle Through the Heavens, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will make the final sacrifice? And what hidden cards might Xiao Yan still hold? Until next time, keep your flame burning and stay tuned for more untold stories from the world of Donghua.